Hi, welcome. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the features and functions of Amove Click and introduce you to some of the benefits that we present through our storage enablement platform. Amove lives in the cloud, and this is where all of our API functionality begins. We allow you to connect any existing storage from providers of S3 like AWS, consumer clouds like Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, and specialist clouds like Frame.io. And what we've been launching is the ability to connect local storage into the same network to be able to create global access shares to anybody, anywhere. We also offer our own storage, and this is not just simple storage that you would normally find in an S3 environment. These are defined based on access needs and user requirements. Global storage, 14 different data centers around the world, allows users to be able to stream media directly from the cloud without having to download it. Scale, this is our nearline or document-based workflow. This allows you to again mount it on the desktop and work with files in real time, update from the cloud but locally in your cache. And archive, this is our hot storage that allows you to access and browse storage from any device and be able to share that out to people, so you don't have to download files to upload them to someone else just to be able to share a link to that. So once your storage is either connected or you've provisioned storage to remove, you can browse from any device. Here I can dive into my archive layer. As I said, this is real-time hot access. I'm going to dive into this here, and I'm looking for this Fountain of Youth file that I've been asked for. I'm just going to click here, preview that, and straight away I can see that's available. Is this the file that I'm looking for? Absolutely. So let's get that shared out. I can just email this here. I can change the duration of this. I can send that to them, or I can just copy that link, but you can see it's simple and easy to create real-time links that are shareable without needing another platform, any device. So that's a phone, a tablet, anything that can access the internet. As long as you're logged in and have access to these, no problem. You can make those files available to yourself and share them with other people. When it comes to the cloud, we also have Cloudflyer. This allows us to migrate any storage between any S3, a Dropbox, a Box, and move that to another storage provider. This allows us to do this without downloading or uploading. It is absolutely fantastic for archival, for data movements, without having to utilize local storage. Simply drag and drop, and that data is being copied from one cloud instance to another cloud instance. As I say, this can be any provider. Our other side of our cloud tools allows us to administer the platform. So profile, drive settings, whether I'm setting up individual user multi-factor authentication or send a support ticket directly from within the app. From an administrative level, this is where I can invite users, I can share them access to drives, I can group them into teams, allowing them collaborative shared access, or a subsection of that which is projects. And this allows me to combine teams that already exist with individual users for collaborative real-time access. It's very easy to get your users in. We support all the SSO platforms. We can also create a server for access logs, meaning we give you information on who's touched what file. And we can create API keys for adding any connected storage to any other part of your workflow. So that's storage, connections, user and access management. Now I'm going to switch to the desktop application because this is where I work with drives, syncs, and local storage. What this allows me to do is create a drive, which is a virtual partition or share of my storage. Here we can see the storage I have connected and even local storage I have connected. I can then select a particular provider, give the drive a name, select the bucket that I'm going to use. Am I giving entirety access to everything within there? Creating a new folder, ideal for starting a new project, or sharing existing files and folders. There's a lot that can be done, and this is all about providing access to your storage that already exists. We provide additional layers to stop users to be able to deleting from the cloud, and we can even encrypt local cache, meaning that any files that are downloaded from within Click will remain encrypted and be decrypted by logging into Click itself. So if you remove those as a user, they will be removing the ability to decrypt that data, and so there's no risk or access there. I can set up this drive. Once that drive's been set up, I can then start to allocate it to people. Here we can see it's already assigned to me with read-write privileges. I could then set this up for other people, this user for here for example, and they would just have read access. assign it to them, and they're going to just get that drive that appears right here on their desktop containing the content that we're after. And I can even dive in and I can see this content, play it back from the cloud without downloading this. This is all functionality that's built in. Here we have an upload folder. This is going directly so a user can add files to that and share them to the destination that I've selected. I've got a project folder here. This is cloud storage. I have another cloud storage file here, and I'm just going to turn on another drive that is linked to local storage. So from a user perspective, it doesn't matter what the back end is, that they have real-time updates and access directly from their desktop. That's how we manage connecting storage, provisioning storage, managing users and sharing them access. So when it comes to local storage, quite often it's siloed, very unbacked up. There's a high degree of business risk there. And so what we can do is we can select any storage destination, select a folder for it to go into, create a new one here. And again, I'm going to call this backup one, and then I'm going to select to back up particular part of my drive. Here I'm going to go to my downloads folder and select this folder. I'm going to keep this thoroughly in sync, so any changes to this folder will be automatically backed up to the cloud. Here I'm going to launch my sync, and we'll see that the files are already being read out and started to be uploaded to the cloud. If this is left on, this will be dynamic from the user's machine. Any changes automatically backed up. So let's talk about the final stage of what we've just released for local storage, and that's what we call Faster Connect and Faster Server. What this allows us to do is, utilizing our Faster protocol, share out any chosen directories from either internal storage or locally connected storage. That will then appear in the same way that a cloud would appear. We can browse these folders and we can download these, and we can even share drives and create drives from these. And when I connect as a Faster server, I also get the ability for high-speed file transfers. This means that I could select a server here, which is completely in a different location to me, and I could start uploading files directly to there. So these are going to copy, and they're going to move at a high degree of speed from my machine. We can see a lot of these files have already uploaded. The beauty of Faster is, though, that I can also manage remote systems. This means I have a server in one part of the US on the West Coast, and I have a server in another part on the East Coast. What I can do here is simply drag and drop files between these and accelerate their transfers. Here I've got a 2 GB file. I'm going to drag this over, and that transfer is going to start. This is going to move directly peer-to-peer on a fully encrypted pathway, and that is directly there. You see, I moved that file 2 GB, moved in 3 seconds, over 5 gigabits per second. Now this is pretty phenomenal, considering the upload link from both those servers is just 1 gig. So what we're redefining here is not only access, sharing, syncing, but it's making storage something that people can work with within a single interface, single cost, meaning that they're going to reduce overheads, reduce friction and incompatibilities and frustration. This is a product that's designed for anybody who's using storage, anybody who has frustration, be that a user or IT department, to be able to simplify their needs and share access, because it's not about storage, it's about access for people to do their work.